July is a National Savings Month. Young people in South Africa aged between 15 and 24 years old are the most vulnerable in the South African labour market, as the unemployment rate among this age group is around 55%. There's been a push to get young South Africans saving, to be financially literate and run their own businesses. For more on this, I'm joined by Bonga Khumalo, who's the National Programs Coordinator from Junior Achievement South Africa. Thanks so much for your time on SABC News. Financial literacy is something that you've spoken about. It's very important, and saying it needs to even start when people are children.
Absolutely.
Talk to us about when that is.
Absolutely. We operate as JA South Africa in 3 spaces. That is your primary school, your high school, and out of school. And as far as financial literacy is concerned, we pride ourselves to have a program called JA More Than Money, where we teach learners how to spend, save, and earn. Because you need to earn first so that you can be able to save. So we bring the understanding that money has got to be spent and save. So you can't spend, save. So in our program that is called JA More Than Money, where we engage grade 5s and 6, we go through phases such as where does money come from? Money does not come from a garden. So you need to do something for you to be able to get money. What do you want to save for? And we get the learners to get into a challenge, which is unfortunately it has closed now, which we call money challenge. So we get learners to save, and if he saves 2,000, we would match the 2,000. So we encouraging that financial literacy. Hence we have this program here. So this is part of our tools, because learners need to see, need to hear, need to feel, need to touch. So this is one of the games that are very interesting that we use as a way of teaching financial literacy to the learners.
How widespread is your program, and how many learners are able to access it? Because there's also a call for widespread change of curriculum, particularly in a South African school, in terms of entrepreneurship and financial literacy.
We would want, and we would like that the Department of Education engages further. We have developed relationships with the GDE. We're doing well, GDE in the south, in the east. We're getting it. As far as July 18 is concerned, we will be at Nageng Primary School. We would be at Bunwelong Primary School in the Ivory Park, that's Tembisa. So GDE is engaging us intensively on our programs. They are calling for that. So we would also like other provinces to call us and invite us in their schools.
We've heard about this so-called poor savings culture of South Africans. Young people in particular apparently are not saving for retirement. But reading the statistic that we just did, that over 55% of young people are unemployed. How can people be expected to save if they're not earning?
That's why we talk about earning, saving, and spending. So in our high school program, there's a program called Intrapreneurship, a program where we gather 40 learners in a class for a period of about 12 to 20 weeks. We divide them into 2 teams. They do a market research, they brainstorm, market research analysis, they come up with an innovative idea. We provide them with materials to make the product. Towards the end, then they close the business around about session 11, that is week 11, and when they close, then they get their salaries. Some of our learners made 25,000 rands and they share 18,000 rands among themselves. So that is entrepreneurship. Far and above that particular experience, we pride as JA South Africa, we pride ourselves because our programs are experiential. You know, we don't wara. We get learners working practically, touch a product, make it, come up with it, count the money in the class, complete a cash register, income and expenditure. There's a job description that they need to update on a weekly basis. So we are getting somewhere as far as young people are concerned in South Africa. So engage, we need South Africa to engage JA South Africa. JA South Africa is an NGO of choice. We need to be engaged, whether it's a GDE or private sector. Engage us. We've got the right tools to solve the challenges of South Africa.
Okay, so as Junior Achievement, you also, one of the issues that you talk about is saving a lot. How do you encourage learners to think differently about savings? Because it's also a mindset.
Entrepreneurial thinking there. So we don't only engage learners into business, but we want them to be entrepreneurial thinking. For example, I drive on a highway. Or should I use a highway or should I use a back road? I use a highway, because on a highway I use the same speed traveling, a wear and tear, no brake pads. But if I use a back road, there are stops, there are robots, so I'm going to stop often, which means my brake pads are going to run quicker than compared to me driving on a highway. So that is entrepreneurial thinking. Entrepreneurial thinking says, if I'm sitting in a lounge, I'm not in a bedroom, switch off the lights. That is entrepreneurial thinking, so I'm saving. So that's where we talk about saving, spending, and entrepreneurial thinking. So that's the level we engage our young people, not just to buy the materials, make the product, but be entrepreneurial in thinking, how do we then improve? How do we then scale the business?
Mm-hmm. How do you encourage, if any way, learners to pass these lessons that they're learning about money to home, because their parents may not have the same kind of thinking? And we know that most of the time, parents to a certain extent do get bossed around by their children.
You mean cascading to the parents?
Yes.
Yes, we do encourage that. That's why then we've got, for grade 5 and 6, we've got the money challenge, because we request the parents to help them save the money for what they want to buy in future. So parents are also engaged. Even in our entrepreneurship program, prior to starting any entrepreneurship program, we invite parents to a briefing session. We brief them, this is what we'll be engaging your children into. We'll be involving them in this kind of a program, and it demands the following.
Do you use social media in your teachings, or as a way of people accessing you and the lessons that you're trying to teach young people?
We are in the 4th industrial revolution. We are on the roll. Our program are digital. We drive into the school with tablets. They do the entrepreneurial program on the tablet. So we are going the 4th industrial revolution way.
Thanks so much for your time on SABC News. Bonga Khumalo from Junior Achievement joining us in studio discussing National Savings Month as well as entrepreneurship. It's time for short